this is how you play Minesweeper. I will be using blue for save, purple for direction, and red for mines. So, first of all, this guy here can only go in 8 directions. He can go up, northwest, left, southwest, down, southeast, right, and northeast. However, because there's only one active space that he can go, because all other spots have been declared safe, that's how we know that this area here is a mine. Really bad exclamation point here. There we go. And the reason we know that is that these guys are covering this mine too, is because they're only touching one bomb. Because there's a number 1 on it, that means it has to be touching one spot that has a bomb. Meaning that we can safely deduct that this area is a 1. The reason I'm saying it's a 1 here, but I don't know what it actually is because I'm not a random number generator. However, well, I'm just going to say it's safe actually. We'll get later into that. That means that these spaces as well are all safe because they can only be touching one bomb. So all of these sections here intersect to touch this one bomb, who I will be coloring more red in. So, bomb. That means that this entire area as well, more like just down here, for example. The reason we know that is because these spots down here are 1s as well, meaning that they can only touch one bomb. So now we're down here. I'm going to try to make that a 1. So, now you might automatically be assuming that this is the dangerous one. It's not. The reason I know that is because they all have to be touching one bomb in this entire section. This guy can't be touching 2 bombs at once. So, if this is going down here, this is going over here, and this is going over here, we can automatically assume that this guy is the mine, and that these guys are 1s. Oops. My apologies. There we go. If the bomb was over here, this number here would not be a 1. It'd be a 0 or a blank. And if this guy had 2 bombs next to him, he'd be a 2, not a 1. Meaning that this guy right here is the mine, and that these are 1s, meaning they're safe. So, using our previously established methods, we can safely presume that this number here is also a 1. Because all these are touching over here because they're in an 8 grid. So, we also know that anything at a corner, like this one up here, is a mine, meaning that down here is confirmed to be another mine. Now, up here we see that the number 2 is here. I don't know why I'm covering it. Actually, I'm going to get rid of that. So we see it's a 2, meaning, I'm actually just going to quickly label that this is a mine. Thank you. So, we see that this is a 2. Because this mine over here is touching nothing, we can assume that this number is safe. We don't know what number it is though. Because had I clicked it and this wasn't a screenshot, I'd show it. We can assume that this guy is safe. We can also assume that this one's safe because this bomb's touching up here. We can also assume that all these are safe as well, meaning that the bomb that this 2 is so worried about is not touching is touching these. Oh, actually, I just realized something. These would, I'm going to erase that. You see, I would have made this. Ooh, that is not a comfortable color. All right. I'm going to. I'm just going to. Oh, I'm just going to cover that up. Thank you. And thank you. We're going to make those into twos. And the reason I say they're twos is because this one's touching this, and this one's touching this. This guy's touching this bomb as well, meaning we can assume that, again, this is the dangerous one. However, the only one that all four of these have in common is this one here, meaning that this is the dangerous mine that we are trying to avoid. That does, however, correctly assume my assumptions that this one is safe. It'd just be a 1. So, that means that there's one more mine, I'm going to use black, in this general vicinity. We can automatically assume from here that this is all safe because of the ones established, and that this is a 1 as well, because there's no way that this mine could be, that this spot could be a 1 without it touching this mine, meaning that this is safe, and it's also a 1. So now, we have these 2 spots left. Now, we've already understood that this one's safe as well, meaning that this is a safe spot as well, because the 1 we established is over here, and that's covering over here. Means it's already touching this bomb. So that means that this spot is in fact safe, meaning that the only remaining spot left is this evil guy right here. That is a short explanation on how to play Minesweeper.